My name is Nikolas. I'm a Christian and a father of 2 daughters, married, of course. Before becoming the most voted congressman in Brazil, I was born and raised in a favela, and I saw up close how violence destroys a neighborhood, a city, a state, and now an entire country. And today I will speak without the filter that the media imposes. I will speak about the reality of my nation. Today in Brazil, there are 88 mapped criminal organizations operating from inside Brazilian prisons. Of these, 72 operate locally, 14 regionally, and 2 transnationally. More than half, 58%, have as their main activity the direct confrontation against the state. In other words, they no longer hide. They openly challenge the state. These factions impose rules, control territories, punish, charge taxes, and most seriously, they use terror as a form of government. 11% of the Brazilian population lives in territories under the direct influence of criminal factions. But the most alarming data comes from a study entitled Criminal Governance in Latin America. Between 50 and 60 million Brazilians, roughly 1/4 of the population, live under what is called criminal governments, an authoritarian and violent regime that decides who enters and who lives. In other words, 1/4 of the Brazilian population lives under a government that was not elected, does not provide accountability, and does not respect the Constitution or the law. The consequences are tragic and daily. In their own system of justice, the Red Command, one of the most notorious Brazilian factions, uses several methods of torture and execution to punish misconduct, eliminate rivals, and repress residents who oppose or report their activities. Torture sections are frequently recorded and circulated in messaging groups as a warning to the community. The newest method involves both torture and corpse disposal using alligators. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, alligators. Another consequence brought by criminal factions is the warlike atmosphere and the rise in deaths caused by stray bullets. According to the Crossfire Institute, the number of stray bullets victims in Rio de Janeiro grew up by 58% in the year 2025. In the first 75 days of this year, 41 people were struck compared to 26 in the same period the previous year. Innocent people, children, workers, father, die simply being in the wrong place in the wrong country.